is half our part. So you can hear us down here, but they couldn't hear us over here. So we are live. We're actually in effect now here, but let's get this started. Wondering why we're not getting audio on that today, but let's just hope that we got something coming through here and we are set.
You know
if
what?
we're not set, then we'll keep moving. We're going to make the most of this anyway, right?
Exactly. Sometimes stuff happens and all the things don't want to work. So we're just going to move forward and get this done.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we are here. We are ready to go. Happy Monday. Been a lot connected right now.
Everyone. Hi, Monica.
Yep. We have our, of course, I find your lack of faith disturbing coffee mug and Aloha grown for today. Hope we don't get sued by Star Wars or Disney or whatever it's that effect.
Aloha grown.
So we did a burpee challenge on the weekend, 1,000
awesome.
burpees, and you did a lot.
Yes.
What'd you learn?
I learned to keep on going because I got to like 200. I was like, okay, I got this. I got to 350. I was like, I got this. I got to 450. I was like, okay, that's where I was at. I could stop now.
Hey, Monica, happy Monday.
But then I get on Facebook and all my friends are just like, no, Feely, you got this. You can keep on going, go. So I got up to, 5:30. Oh, I so want to get that 1,000 burpees. But by the time I got to 5:30 and I actually was going to stop at 5:10, I pushed myself to do 20 more.
And you got done.
I was like, ooh, my arms, my body. This is the second day. So for all you fitness people, you know, the second day is always the hardest to your body. So I'm like, did some yoga this morning, went for a mile run, which reminds me, I'm doing another challenge, a personal challenge. So today I'm going to run 1 mile. Tomorrow I'm going to run 2 miles. Wednesday I'm going to run 3 miles. Thursday we're going to run 4 miles. Friday I'm going to run 5 miles. Saturday I'm going to run 6 miles. And Sunday I'm going to be like God and I'm going to rest.
Good. I hope I get rest too. Somehow we ended up with all 3 kids in the bed last night. So super weekend, learned a ton. We're back at it today. So working on real estate projects, there's things happening in a good way. And we're continuing to work with that to see things moving along. We've had good collections across our properties. Still a lot of uncertainty out there, not certain. Some states are opening back up. It's been interesting that there's been a lot of talk track about seeing 2 weeks of decline to have things opening back up, but some states are taking the action to get going. So we hope that works for everyone. We hope that really continues to be a great thing. And it brings us out of this. People can get back to work and hopefully really we won't have an uptick in more cases. But on that fact, we're going to make the most of it as we always do. And we had a few things that we wanted to talk about today and we really wanted to focus in on. So first one today, and this just comes down to, let's start here. How does mindset affect success?
It's everything. I think it really is everything. Oh gosh, you can look at the most successful person. Let's say, I can't even think about it. Donald Trump, just off the top of my head. Donald Trump, he has a ton of money. He's the president of the United States. He's in a lot of mindsets. He's uber successful. But if he had stayed and been like, okay, I got my first building. I'm successful. I don't have to do any more. Or, you know, I'm successful enough. I don't have to go for the president of the United States. Or I think you know where I'm going at. If your mindset is that of you have reached success at like this point, but you can still go higher and higher and higher. If your mindset is of that you can reach for more and keep on reaching, I mean, it really is like immeasurable how far you can go. So have the mindset that you can do it and then you can push forward. So I think it really affects success.
You know, I was watching Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, and he just had his part where like every day you just have to focus on learning from your mistakes and every day learn to not make those mistakes and just continue to get better. And he was talking about really just allocating his energy. And one of the things that stood out, he's like, so, you know, I'm selling all my possessions just because I feel like too much gets caught up in that. Right. So that house isn't billionaire just to have a bad name to it. But ultimately that my energy isn't in the right place if I'm worried about this. And he said, I brought these houses with the point of tearing them down and putting together this massive, beautiful art project. But then I thought, is my time better spent, you know, working on this house or getting us to Mars? And ultimately, getting us to Mars is the answer, right? So sure, you could potentially allocate time to both, but if your energy is split, right, even if you're maybe doing something like getting a great real estate project off the ground, but the better use of your time is getting us to Mars, well, ultimately you're not going to be able to put all of your energy into that, right? So his mindset is, okay, what is the best use of my time? What's the best use of my resource? What's the best use of me? What can I find? And that's like us now, right? So we're home, we're in quarantine, we're here till really schools have been called off for the year. So we know that, right? So things are going to take their new perspective. And if we're looking at that and saying, okay, so I'm going to wait until I hear something further, then ultimately we're not in the mental state to say, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go out there and find a way that I can continue to excel. And there's some people here whose jobs are relying on them getting out of their house. And that's an unfortunate position to be in. So, I can't speak to that. So what I can speak to is that if I was home in that position, I would hopefully be trying to learn something, grow, do something that can really help me each day test myself. And that can be tough when you're in a position where maybe time is tough, or it's not ideal, or you have a lot of things that are keeping you, right? If your job says you can't go there and you can't make money, well, okay, that's something you can't control. But what can you control? You can control how you react, how you think, how you act, and what you do. So can you use your time to better yourself in some way? Instead of watching Tiger King, can you do something that's going to benefit you? And maybe finding that, newfound knowledge, basically saying the same thing twice, but finding that new skill set, maybe it brings some kind of betterment to your job when you do go back. Maybe it opens your horizons to something that you didn't have time to try before, or you were scared to try before, or you weren't able to try before because of fill in the blank. So right now, having your mindset saying, okay, my mind is ready to go and try something that is outside my comfort zone, because now is maybe the only time you're going to get this, right? Because we probably won't run back to the same thing we were 6 months ago. And it's amazing that, talking back December and January, where we were to where we are now, but looking at this, we're not going to go back to that same thing we were before. But when we do go back up, there's going to be a lot of time spent like figuring it out, right? And so we're going to have more energy put to that, right? So if we do need to go somewhere, it's going to potentially take a little longer. It's going to potentially not be the same way. So we're going to learn a new process. We're going to figure something new out. And if it's our business, we may have to figure out a new part, right? So if it's a restaurant, you may have less seats. A movie theater, who knows? So, plane rides, who knows? So to look at that and to say, okay, how is my mind going to change? And I'm going to be prepared to tackle these new things that are not going to be within my control. So I can say, okay, this is what it is. How can I adapt in my best way? How can I be mentally ready so I can put together my best energy to what I need to do, like getting us to Mars, compared to really myself being put off, right? Or set aside, or saying, oh, this is horrible because this is new. This is something I'm not certain with. Instead of saying, okay, that's there. So I'm going to put my energy here, and these other things, okay, not that big of a deal. My mind is ready for it. So that's not that big of a deal.
Yes, no, I completely agree. Like where are you going to put your mind is basically what we're saying. Are you going to put your mind into a mindset of success and follow that path? Or are you going to put your mind elsewhere, as in Tiger King, or things that waste your time and your mind? Because this is a time that you can be using to up-level your mindset. Mm-hmm. If you feel like you're depressed, if you feel like you're down in the dumps, if you feel like you can't do anything right now, find what it is that'll take you out of that. Whether it be learning something new, whether it be going for a jog, whether it be getting outside with your kids, there has to be something that'll take your mind into that mindset of success. Because there's one thing to be successful, but you also have to acknowledge that success, acknowledge that you have reached that goal, and then take it further.
There's just a point of accomplishment, right? And when you accomplish something, you feel better and you feel like you feel fulfilled. And that can be anything. It can be as simple as cleaning a room that's had a million things in it for forever that you've used as the catch-all room. We did this with our garage the other day. We had just the kids take everything and they throw it when they come inside into the garage, and probably throw it is probably the correct term, right? So, but in that fact, taking that and getting that organized, you feel that accomplishment. You can feel that with your workouts. You can feel that with, learning a new skill, maybe learning a couple words in a different language that wasn't familiar with you. Learning something like coding or something new about, content creation for social media, or something about, valuing a company. Who knows? We're figuring out another way that you can grow your business. Doing something like that creates accomplishment. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you're moving along instead of being stuck. And so doing that. So if it was something like working out, okay, that's the next question we have. Does fitness make you happy? Doing it, it's not for everybody, but it'd be hard to say that if we don't put together the 3 things right here: eat well, sleep well, and work out. That's makes a full life and helps you live longer and makes you be able to perform at a higher level by just doing those 3 things. So if you can accomplish that, can you do something here where you are using your workout to not only just train your body, but it's also train your mind, right? It's also creating yourself with more resistance to be able to attain more, to tackle more, to achieve more, because now you're testing yourself. You're testing yourself daily by just saying, okay, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to go out there, and maybe I don't want to do it. Like we were talking that race, there was days when running, it actually came up to about 500 miles over the course of a month or 31 days. It's a lot of miles. And there was days where I just didn't feel like running, and it got down. It wasn't so much the running. It was just that, okay, here's 4 hours of my day that I have to be away from things. And in the end, when I started thinking of it, okay, this is time, and I'll use my ability where I will learn more about myself, what I can take on, and I'll also hopefully learn something from listening to an ebook or listening to a podcast or something in between. So when you turn around the equation there of, okay, I don't want to work out till, okay, what can I learn from this experience? What can I do to really push myself forward? So the next time something comes up that I don't want to do, how can I change my mindset to say, okay, didn't really want to do that other thing either, but it made me better. So what if I do this right now? What could be on the other side of it?
And for me, fitness is part of my life. I have to do it. I have to keep fit. I have to keep exercising, and I have to challenge myself. Because if I don't challenge myself, and for those of you who follow me, I'm always putting in little challenges. And every time I do, I always get 1 or 2 people who are just like, oh my goodness, 1,000 burpees. I can't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, if you have a physical ailment or something that stops you from being able to do like push-ups or crunches or any of the above, then follow your doctor's guidelines and don't do them. But there has to be something that you can do to keep your physicality up, to keep your body engaged. So I was talking to this amazing lady on Facebook, and she was saying that something had happened to her shoulder and she was rehabilitating it. So she was going to try and do a burpee, but it wasn't like she was going to get done with very many. Oh,
hey,
look,
Victor.
it's Victor.
How are you?
That's a blast from the past.
We know that feeling right there. We've been there.
Victor says, I guess I need to clean my apartment as well. Yeah, there's various parts of our house that definitely need to be touched.
That's right. And Monica, be careful when we feed ourselves. Exactly right. And it's very easy when you're home to just get into that like grazing mentality, right? Because you're not out that you have to go out and find food, right? Like the scavenger effect, right? So I'm out at work and now I got to go find where my lunch or the other one. Here you can just constantly be grazing all day. Our little daughter in the middle is very good at this. She can just reach high enough in the cabinets now where she's constantly doing something and getting up to just kind of go grab a snack, and all day she's kind of grazing, and then of course she doesn't want to eat dinner, right? But her eating habits are all off. But if this the other point, we keep feeding ourselves positivity, that's the other way to tie in there. What comes of it? Positive thoughts.
If you feed yourself positivity, like for instance, something I like to say is respond with kindness, even if you don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's out there. It could be from people that you absolutely love and have amazing conversations with on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are. Doesn't mean if you don't agree with them that you have to totally like ex-nay them out of your life. It just means you don't agree. Mm-hmm. So as long as it's not hurting you personally, have a discussion. answer with kindness. Having the discussion, especially with people that you follow and you love, is much better than answering with anger or snark or cutting them completely, like unfriending them or what have you, or not calling them back. So much better to answer with kindness and with love. With love.
Love, aloha.
Answer with aloha. That's the best way to do it. And then what was I saying before about? Oh, yes, I was talking about the lady that I was talking about that couldn't do a burpee. So I was like, do what you can. She said, I am in physical therapy right now. I was like, there you go. Do your physical therapy. I know there's days for those of you that are in physical therapy, especially right now, that you don't want to do it. I get it. But do it, stick with the program. And that is your challenge, to stay on that program. For Jason and I, it's running, it's doing burpees. And did I reach 1,000 burpees? No. Do I think I failed? Absolutely not. The challenge was getting up and going for it. Getting up and going for that 1,000 burpees. I did a lot more than I did the last time we did it. I did 450 the last time and I did 530 this time. That is the challenge. Take that next step.
Yeah, trying's always better than not doing, right?
Yes.
Action over inaction all the time. So, anything to go out with here? Got a couple great guests coming on this week.
Some guests coming up, and happy Mother's Day for all the mothers out there. You guys are awesome. Love you all, and
mean a huge ton to us. We'd so appreciate. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel right there. We got a ton of fun things. Billy's got a great interview with. Who was the interview out today? Fabrica? I'm saying that name incorrectly.
Geez. You know what? I have to go look at that.
Fair enough. So, of course, we in all candidacy, we tape these interviews time in advance so the team can have them to put up and get them out there. But there's a ton of great energy coming out. We do have some awesome guests coming up on this week. So be back at noon tomorrow. Of course, noon every day through Friday. Friday, we're going to do our question of the day. We're going to be what we learned this week and a few key other things coming aboard.
Yep. So we're super excited again. Rate and review, subscribe. Please, please, please. It would do us a whole lot of good.
And if you're in New Jersey, we had literally snow and 60-degree weather in the same day. That's pretty sweet. Don't get that much. So we have that to our side, even if we're inside. So as soon as it was snowing, it was done. That's pretty cool. And on that, get out there. Let's do this. Have a great day.
Bye now. Yay.